All right, welcome, people in TV land.
You got it started, Jimmy?
It is.
All right, welcome everybody out there watching on the stream. We have a special guest in the LaurenCampbellRealtor.com Tebow Gazebo.
Outdoor studios.
Outdoor studios. Brian Grimes joining us here on the show, but let's just jump into the show because we've wasted far too much good content already. Are you guys all ready?
Yes.
Jimmy, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, then here we go. Coming down in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Theme Park Podcast. It is Dickerman along with Jimmy D.
Good morning, evening, whatever you want to call it, gentlemen.
It's all the same. Scott Harris.
What's going on, guys?
And special guest in studio from Johnny's house on XL 1067 and Magic 1077, Brian Grimes.
Hello, fellows.
You got people earmarked on the way to work and on the way home from work.
Yeah, I get you coming and going.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I had no idea I was going into a place called the Tebow Gazebo, but whatever.
Yes, the LaurenCampbellRealtor.com Tebow Gazebo Outdoor Studios.
Okay. It's nice. It's nice.
I will tell you right now, though, because I remember that, I won't remember the name of our social media channels, fellas.
You never do anyways.
I will forget that altogether. So we got a number of things to talk to Brian about because Brian's got a new product out, which we're going to sample on the show today. At least, 2/3 of us will. Or 3/4 of us if we include Brian. Well, Brian's the guest. I don't know if we count that or
I
not.
think he can still sample his own product.
I know. He knows what it tastes like. But we'll do that. We've got to talk about your tattoos because you might actually be a bigger theme park nerd than we are. But, Scott, do you want to hit the big news before we get into all that juicy stuff right there?
Yeah.
Because I know there's this has been a week of, we've had a few weeks of drip, 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 little things happening. And this week, everything happened.
Yeah, well, we finally learned when Jurassic World VelociCoaster is opening up.
And that's soon.
June 10th.
June 10th out at Universal Orlando, which is, that's just around the corner. I imagine.
Yeah. I mean, COVID, we did all of them. I'm not sure what the plans are now, but yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen at all now.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Weird.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they invite us out for it. I'm a big fan.
This will be the first big opening of anything since COVID started.
Correct.
And Universal really, we covered this as this all happened during COVID. They were always kind of like the leader on a lot of stuff as COVID happened. They were first to reopen and said we're going to do this much and here's how we're going to do it. And they're doing it again in June.
Yeah. Beginning June 10th, guests will be able to fly 155 feet in the air and travel up to 70 miles per hour alongside a pack of velociraptors aboard Florida's fastest and tallest launch coaster.
And you like launch coasters? You do the big ones?
Yeah, I do all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy's the only one that doesn't do them.
Really?
But it's okay. Because we don't mind. Although, were you part of the time we tricked Michael Bryan into riding the Jurassic Park water ride, Jimmy?
I was there. We were all there, actually.
Yeah, I think we were
except
all
for
there.
Scott, maybe.
Yeah, I was not there.
And
He didn't like the roll rides at all.
It's just a boat ride, dude.
It's accurate. It is a boat ride. It's a river adventure.
Yeah.
I waited at the end, and I'm like, why aren't they taking pictures? And right after I say that to myself is when Megan Fox and
Brian Austin Green.
Brian
Oh,
Austin
that's
Green,
right.
they got off the ride, and I had to walk away from them because it was the second time we'd run into them. I'm like, I'm not stalking you. I don't care about you.
No,
I just want to wait for my friends.
We were eating lunch, and they were eating lunch on the
Mythos.
the same little patio area. Yeah,
True story.
I was more excited about Brian Austin Green than Megan Fox because I'm a 90210 nerd. I'm like David Silver.
Oh my God!
He was your favorite, wasn't he?
Dance battle. Let's go.
He was a rapper. He was a big rapper.
He
on
was
the show,
a
right?
big rap artist
In real
on the
life,
show.
he liked rap too, right? They released a rap album and it was universally panned.
He did. I think 7 people bought it.
I think everything he has done has been universally banned.
No, when he dated Megan Fox, we're like, all right, good job.
Yeah, you know what?
Thumbs up for that one.
It was banned because they weren't him.
Yeah, true story.
Well, and he did the show with Charlie Sheen after Charlie Sheen went nuts and got his own show again.
Anger management.
Anger management.
Yeah, that was good.
I
He
never saw that.
He did well on that.
He was really good on that.
He was pretty good on that.
Good for him. That's good to hear.
By the way, so when I went to Universal, I saw VelociCoaster in action. Jimmy, you'll like this part. So right before it does the second launch, which is the tall one, if it doesn't have enough speed to make it up, it will go backwards. It'll slide backwards.
Kind of like Hagrid.
To get momentum enough to then shoot back up.
Or like the Slinky Dog. Hold on.
It's exactly
hold
like
on,
Slinky Dog.
hold
It's
on.
exactly like Slinky Dog.
Yeah, no thanks. I don't need fake malfunctions in my
Yeah, I'm with him on this one. I don't. Why would you not have enough speed? Build it to have enough speed.
They're in testing right now, so
Okay.
that's what they're doing in the event of that.
Okay.
Is what's the other big piece of news we needed to cover? Was this the Avengers story? Is that the one?
Well, no. There's also, if you go to Disney World now, you can get your picture taken without wearing a mask.
Oh, that's right. You guys said I wasn't going to be allowed to go to the park. I'm halfway there on the vaccination. Yeah.
I know, but still.
Jimmy, you were actually worse than me. Are you going to go?
What?
To Disney, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't have a problem with people taking the mask off stationary to take a picture. I don't have a problem with that.
But you don't think people are going to abuse that?
I mean, they're going to try, but that's the thing about Disney is they have it on lock. Like,
you haven't been since spring break started. I was there last weekend, and it was frustrating. We had some moron from Michigan that had to be told 6 times to put his mask on.
It is hit and miss. Some days you'll go, because we go to Epcot a lot. Some days you'll go and there'll be no problems. But some days somebody wants to just push it.
Yeah. And they're just too nice about it.
Yeah.
They're just too. Sometimes you just got to put the hammer down on people.
pepper spray 'em.
Well, there was the guy that got all bent out of shape because I spent $5,000.
No, $15,000.
Yeah, 50. First of all, if you paid that much, I want to know what website you went to because you got taken.
Yeah, are you staying in the castle?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you looked, I've read some things about that guy. Google search that guy.
Nah,
He's a
troublemaker.
Yeah, I mean, it was that part was dumb. They did this rule one day too early. Tom Brady didn't get to take his mask off for his photos.
I feel like that was intentional. I feel like that was intentional.
We didn't get to see that beautiful face.
Yeah.
And a day later, they make the new rule. What's the deal with that?
That is unfortunate for poor Tom Brady. Jeez, he's such a loser in life.
I know.
The other news is they announced Avengers Campus is opening at Disney's California Adventure June 4th, so they're trying to steal a little bit of thunder away from VelociCoaster. But at the end of the presentation, Disney showed off a lightsaber.
wait, the Avengers thing?
Yes. Well, it was what's going on when they reopen Disneyland.
Gotcha.
So it was
Okay.
all part of that.
So this lightsaber, he was going nuts for because it's not your standard you can build it in the park lightsaber. Is that what we're understanding?
We don't know.
It actually cuts things in half.
I'm
All all that I'm seeing on Twitter, because pictures and video weren't allowed of the presentation. Josh D'Amaro closed out the special look inside Disney Parks virtual event by turning on Luke's lightsaber with the laser sword coming out of the emitter in person, said, "It's real," and then it ended.
Okay, that's
a mic
interesting.
drop.
That's interesting. That's you can't buy that, right?
They filed patents for a lightsaber, and it looks like it could be in conjunction with the Galactic Star Cruiser.
All right, you guys have seen how much a Star Cruiser costs, right?
Yeah, what do you think I've saved all my stimulus checks for?
That doesn't even matter. Grimes does afternoon drive on 2 radio stations. He's still going to go, nope, can't afford it.
Again, that's too much for me. That's for Tom Brady or the guy who spent $15,000 to stay at Disney.
It's all I'm looking forward to in life. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, I wish you luck.
Thank you.
I wish you luck. How much did we say if you stay for 3 days? It was like $1,000 a night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you
$1,000
allowed
a night?
oversized luggage?
You're not interloping on my experience.
What? Well, I mean, you're smaller. You'd fit in the bag easier. What if we kind of split it in some
Why
way?
am I the one? I'm paying
Because you fit in the bag. No, you don't have to pay the same way.
'Cause
We
you're
can
fun
split it in
size.
some way. It fits you in the bag, and because of your size, maybe you don't pay as much.
I don't like where this is going.
It's just a thought. Just an idea. All right. So what's the deal with the Avengers Campus, though? Because is there rides, or is it just like...
No. There's going to be 2 rides there. There's going to be the Spider-Man web shooting game, which kind of looks like Toy Story Midway Mania.
Okay.
Tom Holland has filmed scenes for that.
All right.
And then there's going to be an Avengers ride.
Okay.
But inside the park itself, there's going to be characters. So Iron Man's going to be there, Captain America, Black Panther, Captain Marvel.
I really want to go, but I don't want to go to California.
And it sounds like there's going to be stunts happening all around, characters jumping across buildings.
So Galaxy's Edge kind of. It's just going on around you.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool. I dig that.
You think they'll eventually bring that here? Is there a spot for it?
Well, the biggest problem you're going to run into is Universal.
Oh, that's right.
Legally, they cannot.
Yeah,
Legally
until
they-
Universal lets hold of that death grip it's got on that island.
But
It's not
they
gonna
can't.
happen.
Universal still can't change their guys. You got the old school Captain America.
That is it.
and-
That is it.
They can have what they got, and that's it.
Interesting.
They
It
can't.
just- it
They
doesn't-
can't add the Guardians. They can't add any extra characters.
But they can't update Captain America to modern version Captain America.
No.
that looks
No.
similar to
It-
Steve Rogers.
They don't own any of the likeness rights to any of the MCU characters. They
Gotcha.
only have comic book true characters.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, that should be interesting then. All right. Well, Brian Grimes is here with us in the studio. It turns out he might be a bigger theme park fan than any of us,
He's just more committed.
on some of the artwork he's got, which we'll get to here in a minute, which you can see on our. We're live on Facebook, Jimmy?
Facebook Live, yeah.
Facebook.com/The Theme Park Podcast.
And if you're listening to us live on Real Radio, just go to our YouTube channel, which you can get to by going to thethemeparkyoutube.com.
Yes, and we're going to make Brian show off his artwork for the cameras here shortly. But we should talk about what you guys all have in your tiki mugs. Jimmy actually decorated the Lauren Campbell Realtor.com Tebow Gazebo Outdoor Studios today. We've got all of his tiki mugs on display because...
Yeah, please don't break any of them because it'll end our friendship.
You know you're not supposed to put fragile things out when I come over.
That's why I give you the plastic cup.
Yeah, you're supposed to put everything away when I come over. But Brian has... Like when these guys told me what you did, I'm like, how does one do this? I know you.
Yes.
How does
I used to return stuff to you at Best Buy.
Right. It's true.
So Brian has made it's a rum, right?
Yes.
Like the guy that doesn't drink. Why am I leading this? Scott, help me with this here, since you know more about drinking, because I know you and Brian might have had a few drinks together in the years gone by.
We've
Yes.
not done some damage. Yeah. I mean, that's putting it lightly.
Mini nickel beers and blue martinis can attest to this. No, Brian has started Yo-Ho Spiced Rum. So it is an alcohol that you are able to drink if you wanted to. You are old enough. I've learned this.
Jimmy, before, as we're getting going on the show, Jimmy's like, Dickerman, I know you don't drink, but do you want to? Like,
I thought you could taste
you
it.
just answered the question.
I mean, it is really delicious, even if you don't drink.
It is very good.
Yeah, I've already finished mine.
So what's Yo-Ho Spiced Rum?
Yes.
Okay. How do you go to creating your own rum, Brian?
Okay.
How did this come to pass?
Okay, so long story short it, which is actually still going to be kind of long, but I'll do the best that I can. So in my drinking career, I've always been a drinker of spiced rum, usually Captain Morgan's. It's just an easy drink to order.
Not anymore.
Well, when I can not, yes, not anymore. So that I have that as a basis of that's usually what I drink anyway, spiced rum. So the way this came about, I've been with my wife for about 20 years now, but there was a time where we were separated. And that's when Scotty and I drank up everything we could find.
Facts.
And so there was a time we were separated, but as we got back together, we decided to renew our vows, and we decided we were going to go over to St. Pete, Clearwater area. We love it over there, and do it on the beach. And we decided to rent a house and have all of our friends come stay and make it kind of like a party for a couple of days before we did our vow renewal. So I decided, I think it'd be a great idea if I just made a batch of rum to take with us. My wife worked at...
Would you make it in the tub?
No, I made it in... Well, I mean, I aged it in the closet. But my...
What Brian didn't say is when they were broken up, he spent some time in jail.
He learned how
It's
to.
toilet rum.
It's toilet rum. That's what you're drinking
No,
right now.
don't start that rumor. Don't.
That's what you're drinking
No,
right
we gotta
now.
protect the brand. Stop.
Toilet rum. So I decided to make a batch of rum to take over with us to this party, and so I like spiced rum, so I went and I Googled how to make it, and I put it all together, but I didn't want it to be kind of as harsh because if Captain Morgan's, if you try to drink it straight, it's pretty harsh. So I wanted it to be just more fun and more drinkable. So I added some flavors that I like, and it happens to be orange and vanilla. Those are the two flavors I really like a lot. So I added that, and I just kind of winged it, figured it out, and I kept a log of all the different test levels that I tried. And I used real stuff.
Like science experiments
So
going.
Walter White over here.
Yeah. I mean, it's not nearly as lucrative as meth, but so I was using real orange peels and vanilla beans, which by the way are really expensive.
Oh yeah,
you get
the
one
real
bean.
stuff?
Yeah, you get one in a jar, and it's like $8.
Oh my goodness!
It's outrageous. Like,
I've never tried to buy vanilla beans.
Yeah,
before, I
it's
guess.
ridiculous. But I did that, sliced it up, set it in the closet, and let it sit for a couple months. And then when it came time to go to the weekend, I dumped it into a plastic jug, and I jokingly wrote Yo-Ho on the side.
Nice.
Because it's a pirate term. But I also thought it'd be funny because I'm the only guy in the house with like 7 girls that every time I wanted to drink, I could just yell Yo-Ho, and I thought that'd be funny. That was way before cancel culture. I would probably get killed for it now, but whatever. It's too late. It's already the name. And so I wrote Yo-Ho on it, and I took it, and everybody drank it and loved it. But my wife, she's like, I'm not drinking your closet rum.
I know where that rum's been.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Meanwhile, all of Brian's friends are now blind.
Right. No, that was the test. They didn't know it, but they were... They were the test audience. Nobody died. Nobody went blind. And so I thought, okay, cool. So I kept that little piece of paper with my ingredients on it, and I always figured I would like to find a way to do this for real because you can't legally make alcohol in your closet, and you definitely can't sell it. So I just kind of sat on that for a while. And then a few years later, we were doing an event, the grand opening of Wahlburgers downtown.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, the Marky Mark guy.
Yes. And so I ran into a guy there who was doing whiskey tastings and moonshine tastings, and he actually makes that, and he has a distillery here in town. And he gave me his card, and I'm like, well, maybe he could make my rum for me. So I reached out to him. This was when that happened. So this is, probably 8 years ago, 7
Yeah,
years
because
ago.
Wahlburgers closed already.
I know. And at the time, it was just too steep. Like, I wasn't mornings and afternoons guy at the time. And my wife wasn't in real estate yet. We hadn't really saved any money. We were like, paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes not even that. So it was just too expensive. I'm like, well, I mean, it's a great idea. I'd love to do this. I went in with the intentions I'll make like 100 bottles, but that's not how it works. I found out later you got to make lots, like in bulk, and it gets to be pricey. So I kind of put it on the shelf for a while. But I kept all the stuff. I made a fake label and everything, and I knew what I wanted it to look like and all that stuff. And then we were in Almirada down in the Keys for a weekend, and they have a distillery there, and they make Almirada Spice Rum, and it's really good. But I mean, when I tell you their distillery is smaller than the Tebow Gazebo, I'm not kidding. It's tiny. And I told my wife there, I'm like, I was drunk, but I told my wife, I'm like, look, if they can make rum here, we can do this too.
We got this.
We can do this. So
How every great idea
It's
starts.
just like, he'll forget it in the morning.
I
It's
drunk texted the dude and said, hey, we're making the Yo-Ho happen. And we came home and we moved some money around, and I talked to him and kind of sold him on the idea that, look, it's kind of I'm not a big deal, but I do have a pretty good reach that actually could be beneficial to you.
You got a platform.
Yeah,
Oh,
it could
yeah,
be.
you got a big platform.
It could be
Don't undersell yourself.
Yeah, but you never want to be like, do you know who I am, guy?
Right.
So I just was like, look, this could really benefit you as well. Could we not make it cost like an
Is this
arm and a leg?
Wahlburger guy or is this Almirada guy?
No, this is the Wahlburger guy.
Okay.
Almirada, they still do their thing down there, and it's great. And you can get it at Total Wine and stuff. But I came back and hit up the Wahlburger guy, and I was like, can we try to make this happen? And I went and met with them and everything, and we posted a photo, and they started getting a whole lot of hits to their social media just from that photo. And so they hit me up and they're like, hey, here's what we can do. I'm like, cool. So now it's not an arm and a leg, it's just an arm. I'm good with that. And so we did this during COVID, actually. I came up with the label design and graphics and all that stuff. I had it all sketched out, and I sent it over to this guy who's a local artist. His name's Josh Strickland. He does a lot of cartoon like commission work, and he cleaned it up for me and digitized it and turned it into what it is. And then I took that and made the rest of the label. I gave the formula to the guy, and he tweaked it and made it taste delicious and filtered it a bunch of times. And we tested it a few times at a couple different strengths, and what we have now is what we came up with, and we just roll with it. So we made the initial batch. It's 1,200 bottles. It's what you have to make.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So it's 200 cases, and I figured worst case, I got a whole bunch of rum to sit in my garage.
I was gonna say, can you park in your garage right now?
No, you legally can't keep it at your own house. There's so many stupid rules with
That
alcohol.
might be smart.
Yeah, it really is. There's legally so many rules with alcohol. I'm getting a crash course in the way the alcohol business works, man. It is shifty and shady. And
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
there's so many. Everybody puts their hand in. Like,
Did you talk to David Sibido a little for a while about working with various alcohol contractors?
Man, I'm telling you, it's distributors and even my distillery. I like the guy, and he's a good dude and he makes a great product. But even him, sometimes I'm like, hey, man, look, we ain't hustling each other here. let's
We're
stop.
a team, man.
Yeah.
We're on the same
together.
side.
It's like a constant game of 3-card Monty. My eyes are on everything at all times. But it's good. It's been out for about 2.5 months now. We're in about, I think, 10 or 11 stores now.
Oh, that's awesome.
We just got accepted by Total Wine. So
wow.
we'll be in the Central Florida Total Wine locations in the next couple of weeks. I don't know like how much or how big, but that's pretty cool. There's a couple local stores. Winter Garden, there's a store over there.
Get the one in Altamont right here.
Yeah, there's there, and then Winter Garden, there's a store over there called Regency that does very well with it. We've been out there a couple of times, and there's Easy Liquors, Legacy. They it's the local stores. They took it on really really cool for us. And then there's some bars, Teak and Maitland and over in Metro West. They added it, and they made tiki drinks out of it for their menu. So that's pretty cool.
It's smart. It's smart for them because they're getting the notoriety of you. This is a product that you're involved with.
Yeah.
And people will make that special trip out because they want to try it.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it works. They're helping me out, and in turn helping them out. No one's really asked me to try to bend over backwards to say my name on the radio because there's rules behind that. And so
There are no rules anymore.
it's local.
No, we have to take the test every year.
You guys
Yeah.
can take the test.
What test?
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. That test is so stupid.
It really is.
But I avoid the fact that it's whatever we call it, Plugola, Payola, because I'm not lying. It's my company. Like as long
Yeah.
as you tell people it's your company, you're
Yeah.
good. It's mine. My
Yeah.
my wife and I, we are the only employees.
Yeah.
And we bust butt. So far we have not made any profit. We're also not losing the house.
There you go.
What's the tipping point on those 1,200 case or bottles?
To make profit.
Yeah.
But you don't start seeing actual return. Okay, so the way I've worked it without getting,
What's your ROI on this?
right. Well, without getting too deep into it, we took the lump sum money to start it, and so the way that we looked at it is that money's gone. Eventually, obviously, if it grows big enough, we'll put that money back, but that money's gone. So what we're trying to do at this point is to not have to write another check. So each batch should pay for the next batch, and then we'll pull the profit out of it. So we've done that already with the first batch. The first batch has now paid for the second batch, and we're now starting to collect what little profit we're going to get from the first batch. And then you have marketing and stuff that costs money. I mean, we have cups and we have banners and we have to be places, and that I've already donated more to local charities through the rum than I've made on it because that's just something that I do, and it's charities I work with, and they ask, and so I'm like, sure, I'll sponsor it, whatever. Because and eventually, I think in the long run, that's just the right thing to do.
Have you considered reopening the rolling radio store and just start serving out there?
Dude, there's so many rules behind that. I would love to do that. Like
Well,
I want
thought
to.
COVID wiped a lot of those away, or they
rules?
brought them back. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, but like you can't just give alcohol out to people and take money for it.
I thought that's what the bar was.
Yeah.
Come on with the liquor license. This guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
a liquor license.
I want to open a speakeasy at my house now, with the neighborhood. Just
Come
on
in,
over.
buy a Johnny's House T-shirt, and get a free bottle of rum, $49.99 for the T-shirt.
Right. Here's the
You can
code.
ask Mike Busey about that.
Yeah, right. Here's the code word. I just want to open a little speakeasy, but it's been a lot of fun, and it is really good, and it's fun to drink, and it's fun to promote. I enjoy it. And my son's like, hopefully you can make this big enough so I don't have to work someday.
Of course he said that.
That's my goal.
so your kid never has to work.
He told you that's his goal.
Yeah, that's his goal.
That's tremendous.
You should be like, you should hope we can do this by the time you're old enough to have this.
Yeah, right. He's 16. He's already had it.
Ah.
We made it too delicious. 16-year-olds want to.
Oh no!
I already busted him on camera. Him and his little friend. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? I have cameras all in my house.
Now
you
you
can't
got to
away
get a
with it.
lock for the liquor cabinet.
Did that already. Yep, and not even a lock. I lock it and zip tie it because you can't really replicate a zip tie. You don't know how I cut that little thing in an angle. I keep the other parts so I can put it together like
you
a puzzle.
match it together.
You don't do
Yeah.
the tape with a signature on it.
No, I do the zip ties and I cut it at an angle and I keep the part that I cut.
Oh
So
my God,
there's-
that's full dad zone.
There's
right
literally no way he can recut it at the same angle because it won't match my angle.
Are you taking notes on this?
there. Absolutely.
Look,
Yeah, you better.
When I was 16, I was hustling early times out of my friend's dad's liquor cabinet.
cabinet.
This is an upgrade over early times
Oh,
at
yeah.
least. But yeah,
it's fine. My dad made it. I can drink it.
right? No, you can't, boy.
Where all can?
So the website is yohorum.com, and you can there's a locations there that has a link to all the spots where you can get it. But like it just depends on where you are in town. The distillery will always sell it. It's JLA Distillery, so that you can buy it there, and it's actually a little cheaper because there's no retail markup. So if you're in the area of the airport, you can swing in there and during their business hours, and they'll sell you a bottle, which is your cheapest way to go if you're in that area. But like there's Easy Liquors in Sanford, Legacy is in Sanford and Longwood, and I think Kirkman. There's Pat's, which is over by UCF and in Sanford. I don't want to forget anybody. Regency is over in Winter Garden. Shamrock is over by UCF. They have it as well. And then Teak is doing, they have menu drinks with it, which is pretty cool. And they're going to start a Yacht Rock brunch next Saturday.
Yeah.
Next Saturday. So it's sponsored by, in part by Yo-Ho. So they'll have $4 Yo-Ho drinks during brunch.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool at Teak in Maitland to start. And then hopefully they'll move it over to the Metro West area as well. Hilton Orlando over by SeaWorld. They have it at their pool bar and in their David's Club inside. And Throwbacks in Sanford. Those are the places where right now it's at.
My
and
wife-
hopefully Total Wine in the next 2 weeks.
My wife just texted me. She wants to buy a couple of bottles off you to give away as like, because she's a real estate agent
Yeah.
as well,
You
and
know-
she wants to give them as like, what do you call it?
closing
gifts.
Yeah. My wife does that because she's a real estate agent as well. But when,
Wife fight. Wife fight.
Real estate fight.
when we did the grand opening, there were like 3 different the grand opening, like we did like a launch where you could pre-order and then come pick it up at the distillery before it was in stores, and there were realtors that were buying it by the case because that's what they want to use it for.
Nice.
Because
That's smart.
it's a cool local thing. So
Well,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's local, and like tiki culture is just exploding right now.
yeah, and it looks
Like-
different. It fits like the
And-
Florida vibe, and
And the Yo-Ho, like that fits right in with Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah,
and like,
and they haven't sued me yet. So
Oh, yeah, you're doing okay.
I mean, I
far.
did file for trademark, so I'm good.
Yeah.
yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah, I did all that stuff.
All right, Brian, can you hang out for a little bit longer?
Yeah.
All right, so because we're gonna do the podcast exclusive portion of the show, so I know we promised that we'd show off Brian's Disney artwork on the
arm.
on the live stream.
I got some Dole Whip, and we're gonna do some rum over Dole Whip here in a minute.
That sounds like
Okay,
a good idea.
Fair
Done.
enough. So if you want to check that out, just check out thethemeparkpodcast.com. Of course, you can find all that information on our social media channels at The Theme Park Podcast. That is Facebook, Instagram, Theme Park Show on Twitter. What am I missing?
TikTok.
Is we still doing that?
Yes.
Okay, and
Hey, Grandpa Simpson, it's a thing now. All right, relax.
I'm not 40.
as long as I'm not involved, it's all good. All right.
we're gonna learn some crazy dance.
For Jimmy D, for Scott Harris, and our special guest, Brian Grimes, I'm Dickerman. Until next time, we'll see you out at the parks.
So that's a segment that'll be on Real Radio
Oh,
on
okay.
Saturday morning, and then we do a second segment that we just do exclusively online.
Right on. Look at you guys.
Well, we got forced into that.
We lost our hour.
Our
We-
hour became half an hour.
Yeah, we did so well in our hour that sales sold it.
Sweet.
Not to us.
To someone else.
Opioids.
To some terrible,
A brokerage
like,
show.
yeah, some terrible bastardized
The boat show.
brokerage show of some sort.
I missed the boat show. I missed those guys.
That was a good show. I mean, I'm like, welcome to
Mhm.
opioids on the radio, or whatever,
The
know.
boat show was some. It's still on, right?
No.
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 Oh, because COVID killed all that
No.
stuff, right?
No. No, they ended just before COVID.
Did they really?
Good time to end. How's your boat doing?
Good. We I just got it.
Have you rechristened it the Yo-Ho?
No, but I'm. If this doesn't go out of business in a year, I am wrapping it. So
Oh,
so that I
nice.
can write off anything I spend on it.
Nice, brilliant.
Oh, gentlemen, my wife's CPA, we can write off our annual passes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you talk about it. Why not?
We didn't. Wait.
We are still on the live stream. I will remind everybody.
We are.
right
Yes. Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget.
We're gonna wrap the boat if this rum thing doesn't go out of business in a year.
Wait. What's first?
Positive outlook.
What's
Positive
first, the
outlook.
truck or the boat?
No, I'm not wrapping the truck.
That truck looks good, man. I
It
parked
does.
next to the truck. I was like, man, the truck looks good.
Yeah, I'm not wrapping the truck. But the boat I will for sure. If we don't go out of business.
Or you just say to your son, like your car's gonna be the one wrapped.
yeah, you drive the Yo-Ho car, buddy. Sorry, it's the way it's got to be.
Jimmy's heading back to the house.
And he's off.
I saw like a Bang energy drink
Yeah.
car, and I'm like, you got that from Red Bull?
Yeah,
Because
totally.
it's the exact same car.
Oh,
It's a
sure.
Mini Cooper.
Yeah, Red Bull was like the originator of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Man, me
But I think they actually bought. I think they
bought an old one?
I think they bought an old one. Yeah.
Rewrapped
rewrapped
it.
Me and Crash met like the first Red Bull guy ever in the 90s, and he would come and bring us Red Bulls. Like it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Like it was just coming over from the Asian market. And we Crash like, yeah, I got this guy. We call him the Red Bull guy. You had to like go to a special market to find Red Bulls at the time.
Now it's frigging everywhere.
Yeah.
Dude. We used to have a pretty good relationship with them because they were like the OGs of not working in an office. So their marketing people were here, even though their offices were in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And so we got a pretty good relationship with her when she used to work here. Her name is Pam, and she
Yeah.
started her own marketing company now. I think Red Bull's actually a client of hers
Makes
now.
sense, yeah.
But man, we used to get all kinds of cool stuff. That's how I got into the All-Star party at the hangar in the airport back when the All-Star game was here.
Oh, man, we need to get Red Bull to come back.
The good old days.
Those Red Bulls will last longer now.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
We mixed this with the citrus Red Bull at one of the bars we were at, sampling stuff, and it was really good.
Thank you.
This is raspberry Dole Whip.
Where'd you get raspberry Dole Whip?
He made it.
You made it?
It's really raspberry sherbet. We're calling it Dole Whip.
Is it sherbet or Dole Whip?
No, it's
I know. I'm just thinking. I'm just being stupid.
no, it's straight up Dole Whip.
Don't believe me.
There's a creamery in Apopka called Toppers. It's right there at Hunt Club Boulevard, and they have a flavor of the week with Dole Whip.
Oh, really?
So it's straight up Dole Whip. If you can actually buy Dole Whip powder on Amazon.
Can you really?
Yeah, and you can make it with just any like homemade like ice cream machine. And
That's
if
good.
you go to the Pineapple Lounge, is that what it's called, Scott, at the Polynesian?
Mm-hmm.
You used to not be able to get the rum with the Dole Whip there, but since both Trader Sam's bars are closed, you can get it at the Pineapple Lounge, or whatever the Pineapple Lanai. That's what it is.
That's the outside.
Yeah, that's the outside, and they sell Dole Whip and like a few other things, and now they actually sell it with rum.
Yeah, we get it at Disney Springs from what's it called? Wine Bar George.
Yeah.
They have it with the alcohol.
All right, you fellas ready for segment 2?
Yes.
Or bonus show or whatever it's called?
Man, that is really good, Brian.
Extra park hours.
Extra park, extra
Jimmy, what did you call it?
podcast hour. Extra,
No, oh god,
nobody knows. All right.
extra park hours.
Yeah.
All right, coming
I said
down
that.
in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Theme Park Podcast. Extra Park Hours, is that what we went with?
Yeah, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's what we're calling
Yes,
it. Dickerman,
we are professional
Scott
broadcasters.
Harris, Jimmy D, and special guest, a real-life professional broadcaster.
Right.
Brian Rhymes.
Oh, stop.
We all just fake it.
We use that term real loosely. I know
Yeah.
whenever they call me the talent, I'm like, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, you got to kind of look, okay, wait a minute, I'm doing mornings and afternoons. Maybe I am the talent after all.
That's right.
Hold on, wait a minute. Something happened here. All right, so Brian joined us on the radio portion of the show. We were talking about his brand new rum, which got released. Now Jimmy has made us another snack. Jimmy, anytime Jimmy has the opportunity to do a special presentation, he does
goes
it.
he
goes
over.
all out.
Not over. I'm not going to say over, but yeah, all out.
We're gonna
Oh,
hire
look.
him for Yo-Ho. This is pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all about the presentation, man. And Brian's a friend, and I want his business to be successful.
Well, I
So I
appreciate
gotta take it the extra mile.
So we've got Dole Whip now mixed with the Yo-Ho Rum.
Yeah, it's kind of like the spiky pineapple you can get at Trader Sam's or the pineapple Lanai, but it's raspberry flavored.
It's good. It's really good.
Mine's a virgin one.
There's
by
a-
the way.
there's
Well,
a
that's
couple-
what
yeah.
that's what Jimmy said.
Yes. Oh, did we just say that? Like on the.
Do you see any floater in there?
Well, I'm just.
Yeah, I don't see it. It looks,
Oh, that's what he told me. but
it
it's
looks
not
different.
really.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're good. I
It's
think
so
you're good.
his rum
I
is
would-
so good you won't know you.
It
you're
is
drinking
super smooth. I will say that. Other than the alcohol part, it'd be perfect for you.
Other than the alcohol part,
Oh, he
right
would-
up your alley.
He would still give you the face. Like if you made him drink it straight, he'd give you the little kid.
Well, there's a little burn at the end of it. I mean, it's 70 proof. It's no slouch. We put a lot of flavor in. We had it at 80 proof, and we took it down to 70 to take the bite out. But it's still got a little punch.
How many people have you convinced, Jimmy, that I'm a recovering alcoholic over the years? More,
Oh.
more than Jeff?
I swear now that I'm on the other side of radio, I feel like that's not a funny joke anymore.
I was afraid to
It's
ask.
funny.
Full disclosure. Yeah, me too.
When
Full
you
disclosure,
told me you don't drink,
I thought it for
He's
years.
definitely this guy's been in radio since like the '90s. He definitely had a drinking problem
on a
at some
rock
point.
station, for
Exactly.
God's
That's,
sake.
that's why.
Yeah, I mean he should at least have a cocaine addiction.
Yeah,
you know?
something.
And you had
For God's sakes.
Track marks. We got to find something.
I always heard the old Candlebox platinum record we had over at DIZ had like all these line marks from people chopping up cocaine on it. That's what I was told. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I was told. That's the old
DIZ,
school
that's
radio,
old
though.
school.
No, that's
I
way
I was
old.
born and raised here, so I remember that.
That was my internship.
Yeah.
I got to see radio as it was before it became big corporate radio.
See, I didn't start until big corporate radio. Clear Channel was my first job.
So you interned for Larry the Cable Guy, right?
Well, Larry worked for us. Larry's story is super interesting. How he came into radio because he was originally on Ron and Ron, and
I used to love Ron and Ron.
He was on Ron and Ron. He originally that's where he got his radio start, and I guess DIZ and JRR were kind of like in this bidding war, and Ron used to be on DIZ, and Larry the Cable Guy was on too. Well, JRR, Paxson Communications, stole them away, got them, built an entire radio station around them because JRR was just Ron and Ron. So they put an entire radio station around Ron and Ron, but DIZ was able to keep a hold of Larry the Cable Guy on their side. So that's where he stayed until the two came together.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was with us when we started. Then I worked with him in mornings for years, and now he's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Tomater.
There's a lot of people. Like Daryl Hammond used to work on XL. SNL, Daryl
Really?
Hammond. Yes.
Really?
He worked with before it was Doc and Johnny. And
Uncle Johnny. He worked with Uncle Johnny.
I used to think Uncle Johnny was somehow Johnny, and then I saw them together, and I'm like, wow, they couldn't be further apart.
yeah.
You could not. That's polar opposites.
I know.
They were
I
both
know.
great guys, but
But yeah, so Daryl Hammond used to be on with them with the morning show, and then when Doc and Johnny kind of took over, he would do call-ins because he was still doing his stand-up comedy. But this is before he was huge on SNL, and they're like, I don't think this guy's gonna really help us out very much. Let's go ahead and cut that. And they told him not to call in anymore. He was good, and then of course he went on to be Daryl Hammond.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
well, maybe that was a push he needed.
yeah, maybe.
Like, this morning show cut me.
Right, maybe.
At one point, I believe Clear Channel cut ties with Larry.
Yeah.
And it was just prior to like everything
Right,
exploding.
the Get Her Done stuff that
Yeah.
blew up with baseball, and then he became like the guy.
It was when he met Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
That's when everything changed.
Blue
for
Collar
him.
Comedy Tour,
Yep.
man.
Yeah, I mean everything exploded after that. It was fun to watch. He's a good dude. It was really fun to watch that guy's like everything just go poo. When he got the script for Cars, he's like, "Hey Dickerman, look at this. I got this thing. It's for Disney. I think it might be a big deal." Oh, you think? Maybe.
Well, didn't it like take years to come out, and everybody's
yeah.
like, he's lying. He's
Years.
lying about this
Like,
Disney
I
thing.
saw the original pitch. It was years later. He's like, he's like, I'm a talking car. I'm like, okay, cool, good job.
All right,
awesome.
Larry. All right, Larry.
Yeah, it worked out okay for him.
yeah, I think he did okay.
Yeah, in the end.
I've only gotten to hang out with Larry like once or twice, but the times that I have seen him, he's been such a genuinely good person.
Yeah, he's just a nice dude that just things happen for him
With a lot of money in the bank.
Yeah. well, I saw like I didn't even know this. They donated $5 million to the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital
That's
for in the name of his son. They got a wing named after his son because
Right.
his son had a condition. I don't remember what the condition was, and they fixed it there at the hospital. So he donated $5 million.
That's great though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Jimmy said. That shows what he says. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And when you can donate $5 million,
Right.
how many millions must you
Right,
have?
right, yeah.
That's
You might have a number that's got a B in front of it.
I don't even know. Who knows?
I mean,
Really?
Cars is
Got that Cars money, man.
What is he? He's tow mater.
Cars, money. I
3
mean,
movies,
we-
rides.
First time we saw like Larry the Cable Guy boxer shorts in the store or the food, like the food products. I was like, okay, goodness gracious.
And it's funny. I remember the call-ins always started out with, "What is this, Russia?"
What the hell is this, Russia?
Every call-in started with that.
Yep. Yep. All right, so this is a theme park.
Yes, I don't know how we got into the radio.
Hey, he
podcast.
does. He is at a ride. He has there is a Cars Land.
That's true. There is.
Oh
a
yeah, there you go.
Cars
This is
Land.
tie-in, just like his rum and Trader Sam's and Tiki Culture.
There you
Sure.
go. Now we're back around.
But as we started here, Jimmy noticed some of your artwork on your arm, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Wait, is that Epcot on your arm?" And Brian's like, "Dun dun dun!"
It is,
And
yeah.
like,
Here, let me pull up the camera. I'll take the good camera off of Dickerman and put it on these
No,
tattoos.
thank God. Nobody wants to see me for any period of time.
Yeah, it's gonna be all the way down eventually. But
That's- How long have you had that work going?
so my first tattoo ever, actually, I got at another Florida staple, Flea World.
Yeah.
Now, in my defense, it was in the Gold Building where the AC was.
Oh, where you had air conditioning.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Uh,
Much better than doing it out in the heat, of course.
So my first tattoo was from Flea World, and it's underneath here now. So I needed something. I wanted to get it covered anyway, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I wanted to go all the way down. And I was born and raised here, so I told our tattoo artist, his name's Earl Funk. He does a lot of the murals around town.
Somehow
Yep.
I know the name Earl Funk, and I
Course
have
you
no
do.
tattoos.
Of course
How
you
do-
do.
how
I mean, I don't either, and I know.
How do I know Earl Funk?
He
It's
did
so weird.
all of Daniel Dennis's tattoos back in the day. So
Okay.
he's worked with some radio people, but he does a lot of the murals in town too. And so I went to him and just said, "Hey, I want like all Central Florida stuff, and I need a cover up here." And so he's like, "Well, come up with like the base of it." So I figured I don't want water, I don't want ocean, all that stuff. So I wanted space, and then I said, "Well, Space Mountain is pretty cool, it's the first roller coaster I ever went on." So I'm like, "Let's do Space Mountain." So I gave him a picture of Space Mountain, and he used the space part to cover up my old one, and he really made Space Mountain look cool.
Yeah, the colors are really that's some of the best colors I've seen in a
Earl
tattoo.
Funk is like, if you're getting a tattoo, you should go to Earl Funk.
He's great. Yeah, the East is his shop, and down off Ivanhoe. And so then I'm like, just gonna go crazy, whatever. And he's like, okay, well, I'm thinking some stuff. And he's like, I know you go to Epcot a lot, so cool, I'll add that. And he's like, Gatorland is like, that mouth is pretty iconic, so I have the Gatorland mouth. It's not
he
colored.
did it. That looks awesome though.
Yeah, that's not colored yet because he does the way he works it. He does my lines, and then in a couple weeks I come back and he fills it in. So the bottom one is now just lines, and he'll color in the Epcot, so it has that kind of the purplish glow that it does at night. And he'll do that pasty green for the for the head on get the entrance to Gatorland. And then I'm going to add some other random stuff, maybe like the Lake Eola fountain. I don't know if I could do some fireworks.
Kennedy Space Center. Throw in
I was
like a
thinking
shuttle or
a
something.
shuttle would be cool.
Oh,
like
yeah, that
back
would be
here.
cool.
Well,
Yeah.
you did say you considered the Orange Bird.
I was considering the Orange Bird somewhere on here because I've loved that since I was a kid. So
Jimmy, you better hurry up and get
Yeah, I
it before
know.
Brian does. You're going to look like a fool.
I think you should get matching ones.
I'll get a matching Orange Bird tattoo. Dude. Let's do it. Come on.
I don't know if we're gonna match, but
I want,
No,
half,
I want
half and half. So when you guys like join
Yeah.
arms, it forms
Wonder
the full
Twins.
bird.
yeah. So I just wanted all Florida stuff, and then when I was actually getting ready to do this, I thought, oh well, I got some theme park stuff for them. Then they'll dig this.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's
that's
all,
rad.
It's,
You're
it's all
kind of
theme
making
parked
us
out.
look like bad theme park nerds.
Yeah, I mean,
'cause
so when you guys have the podcast, I mean, mine's permanent.
you seem a little more dedicated than us.
Well,
I'm going to be honest with you
it's
right
not
now.
even just the theme park; it's just Central Florida, and really, that really is. I mean, I know people hate on it, but that's what Central Florida is all about, and I love it. So
Yeah.
I know people's like, well, it's all plastic and fake. Yeah, right. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So
It's how we
And
build
delicious.
it's how we build our economy.
Right.
Well, no, we just did a bracket of Orlando attractions that don't exist anymore, featuring Flea World was one of the things on there.
Fun
World.
oh, Fun World.
Fun World at Flea World. Yes.
And I never really went to Fun World. I think I went there one time, but I did frequent Flea World because of my growing up. The first person that ever took me to Disney, actually, his parents had a booth at Flea World.
Oh yeah. You always knew there was like one person you knew that their parents had a booth at Flea World.
Dude, they must have made a killing because I mean they were pretty well to do, and they actually paid for my first long span of time trip at Disney. We stayed for like 5 days at the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, you
And
could make money.
we were the OG Zach and Cody. His mom would drop us off, get us checked in at the Grand Floridian, and then not come back for days.
Wow.
And I had at the time what they called the 3 seasons salute pass. So it was like $69, and you could go to at the time it was only 2 parks. And so we would just monorail to everything and then eat on the room and everything. We were like old school Zach and Cody. But it was all from a booth at Flea World. His dad was a contractor too, but I don't know if he ever built anything. But they made bank at Flea World. They sold everything from tools to DVDs.
My wife's mother had a friend. I think they sold like jewelry, like junk jewelry, and they made bank at Flea World back in the day.
Yes, I always wanted to know what happened to that big square box of pennies. You were supposed to guess how many was in it, and you could win, but nobody ever won it. So when they shut down Flea World, where'd that go?
Where'd it go? I want to know where the mean guy that sold the knives went that always yelled if you looked at the
Yes.
knives. Don't touch them.
And the Ninja Stars.
Yeah,
I
why
used
do you got him out if you don't want us to touch him? Come
the
on,
Ninja
obviously
Stars.
this is something we want to touch.
And there was a guy there that made a killing selling just photographs of bands and concerts.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And he would make clocks out of them, like guitar-shaped
Yeah,
clocks.
my dad's got one in his garage still.
Nice.
It's still in it. My
I
dad.
always wanted one.
My dad
Who'd he
has
get? Who'd he get?
Stevie Nicks.
Nice. Oh, wow.
It's hanging up in his garage still, like 30 years later.
Please get a picture next time you're over there.
I wanted a Motley Crue one so bad. But that guy made money. This was before social media, so there was no way to get these pictures.
Oh, yeah.
He just sold actual photographs.
I think
Of
I bought
concerts.
some like Lita Ford pictures from him when I was a kid.
No.
I saw Lita Ford open for Poison at the old arena.
That guy made bank. He
Yep.
did.
Yeah.
And it was. He had a photo. He had some sort of credential, like maybe he shot for Jam magazine or something, and
Yeah.
he was able to get into the shows.
Man, it was Flea World was great. Flea World was totally underrated.
Yeah, it should have won the contest.
Do you want to know
It lost to Wet and Wild.
Do you want to know
Well,
how many
Wild was good, too.
How many people went there per year?
Yeah, tell me.
3 million people.
I believe it, man. It was like
and it was only open 3 days.
yeah. It was a garage sale flea market.
It was the nation's largest flea market under one roof.
Yeah, and you definitely planned your whole day there. Like, I'm going to Flea World at like 10 a.m. and I'm going to be there until like 5.
And they ended up closing it for what? Nothing? Like there was-
Widening 1792.
They're building condos there. now.
Now they are, yeah.
I thought the original idea was something else, and then that fell through. I don't remember
They're
what it
going to be
was.
mixed use condos, I think.
Yeah,
now.
that's what it's gonna
like
become
retail
now.
at the bottom.
Yep.
condos. Everything's being fancy now. I didn't see the bracket. So was Watermania?
Watermania did not make it out.
Yeah,
of the
they got
first
knocked
round.
out in the first
Are you
round.
kidding me?
Yeah.
I saw Warrant at Watermania.
My sister saw him at that same show.
Are you kidding me? How did Watermania? I got the mania for Watermania.
I saw Nelson at Wet and Wild.
Yeah, I used to see Stevie B at Wet n Wild all the time. We would go to summer nights, and then go to the old Hard Rock Cafe when it was the guitar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed the guitar.
That was when we had Earth Day Birthday 5.
2. Earth Day Birthday 2 was in the
You
parking
guys
lot
fight
there.
about this all the time.
I don't know. I wasn't there for 2.
No, it wasn't 2. It wasn't 2. 2 was downtown. 'Cause
It was
that
5.
Was
5.
Letters to Cleo.
5 was Earth Day Birthday at the Hard Rock. 4 was at the old Tsunami Beach Club in Sanford. That was all of our first one.
Tsunami
remember
Beach Club.
I only went there once to see Megadeth.
It was a concert venue for a while, and they did Warped Tour there 1 year too.
Yeah, I
God.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the other things we had on the Terror on Church Street,
Okay, I never went to that. I always saw the crowds, but I never went.
Pleasure Island.
Okay, I liked Old School Pleasure Island. They had a club called Videopolis
They did, yes.
where you could request music videos.
There was that. There was Mannequin.
Yep. They had the skating rink, which is a terrible idea. Alcohol and skates.
Really was Mystery Funhouse.
Yeah. Okay, I've never been there, but
You
I
never
remember,
got to go there?
No, but I remember the big wizard.
Oh yeah.
And then
Mystery
didn't it,
Funhouse was cool.
didn't it become Skull Kingdom or
No,
something
that
like
was
that?
separate. That was separate.
But that was in the bracket as well.
That was also in the bracket.
I did fairly well. Actually, made it to the second or third round.
It made it to the second round.
Okay.
Cypress Gardens, River Country.
Yeah, River Country. Do you guys remember? This is old school theme park. Six Gun Territory.
No.
No.
This
I
is
don't know that
old
one.
school. You guys don't. Six Gun
See, I
Territory.
remember Boardwalk and Baseball, but I don't. I don't
Okay,
know
that was
one.
Circus World before that.
Correct.
Okay, but Six Gun Territory was up towards Ocala, like Silver Springs.
Yes.
And it was a full-on Western. Like when you walked into there, everything became Western. And so it's a lot like Galaxy's Edge now, where just things broke out. Like all of a sudden, you'd be in the
It was
saloon.
Westworld.
Oh, that sounds cool. I want to go.
You would be in the saloon, and all of a sudden, two guys at the bar would just start arguing, and they start punching each other, and then duel like right in front of you. It was nuts. And I went there once as a kid, and I feel like it was like a little knockoff theme park, and nobody I've talked to has ever been there. It was called Six Gun Territory.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That sounds cool.
It was open from 1963 to 1984.
It was
Oh
amazing.
my God.
It was amazing.
Wait, which area of town did you grow up in?
At Sanford.
In Sanford.
Yeah,
All right.
so Free World was my jam.
So when I was a kid, we would go over near Fern Park, and there was like I think it was like a Kmart or a Zare or something there.
Okay.
There was also a circus there.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, I would be so mad at my parents
Yep.
because we would drive by it. I'm like, why don't you ever take me there?
Had the carousel horses out front.
This is not. There's a circus literally
Yeah.
right where we're going, and you never take me there.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here. You know, eventually the city made them take those horses down.
Oh, yeah?
Because of that.
It
Because
looked too
parents
fun,
were like,
yeah.
my kid is complaining literally every
it
day.
It must have taken them a long time because when I moved to Florida in 1993, they were still there.
Yeah. Eventually
Yeah.
they made him take it down.
They cracked down on everything at Fern Park for a while. Fern Park had a reputation.
Well, they also that was back when Seminole County had different laws, and they changed the laws so
Oh,
that
yeah.
those particular establishments couldn't operate the way they used to.
Oh yeah, we used to have some lunches at a few of those
Oh,
places.
yeah, well, I went to lunch.
Gentlemen's Club.
Those,
Yeah.
those who will not be named.
Yeah, and then they had House of Babes. That was that place was terrible.
It was the only 18 and up.
Well, the name's very misleading.
Yeah.
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 It would indicate there was
For
babes
sure.
there.
Okay.
Theme park show.
Sorry.
Theme park show.
I'm sorry.
I steered us in the circus
You did,
direction.
and then I just drove us into the ditch.
You know, it's like a family show. You know.
True story. True story. We'll move on. We'll talk a little bit more about theme parks because, Brian, you've been to many a park. We were talking, I think this was off the air, about the upcoming Star Wars hotel.
Yes.
And so the big complaint that guys like me and Jimmy and Scott would always have is somebody that works at Excel
Yeah.
or Magic gets to do some really cool opportunities
True.
with Disney and Universal. So we're like, Brian, if you get to go to this what's it called? Galactic what?
Star Cruiser.
Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel.
Star Wars Hotel.
Yeah.
We're gonna hate you forever
I understand that.
because it's literally $1,000 a night to stay out there per person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dickerman's gonna slash your tires.
And I'll understand. I will. I mean, I've been a Star Wars fan since I was, a
you know
baby
what?
as
So
well.
you'll appreciate it. See,
Yeah.
the thing
Right.
that kills me, the thing that kills us sometimes is we'll see somebody that's like, we know they don't care. It's like some radio guy, like they don't have a single care in the world about Star Wars or the theme parks or anything.
Yeah.
You're getting this amazing experience, and it's not fair.
Which one's the Klingon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Spock here?
Yeah, that is kind of tough to watch. When I still embrace all of that stuff like it's the first time I've been, because I get super excited about it. So when we go, like, I'm exhausted because we get up at 3 in the morning to do the show, but I still want to stay out and do everything. So I still go and do all that stuff. So if I do get to go, at least understand that I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You proved that you're a fan. I mean, you tattooed it on your body.
Yeah, they got to bring me.
And it's like Chad Pitt is like one of the biggest Star Wars fans
such a
I've ever met.
Super
Yeah,
fan
and he
too.
loves theme parks as well. Yeah.
So it's like whenever I see him getting to do stuff, I'm like, yes, I want him to go enjoy that because I
Yeah.
understand he's going to get stuff out of it. But it's like other people in the building, they're
We
like,
hate you a little less when we know you guys really are enjoying it.
Yeah, I just did an interview with the author that wrote the first novel in the new Star Wars kind of universe that
Timothy Zahn?
that they're building.
Zahn.
And so he just gave me a whole stack of books to give out. I should have brought one for you guys. So that
Is it? I know what book you're talking about.
yeah, I can't remember now. Light of the Jedi or
Yes.
something like that. Yeah. And that was cool, and I feel like they're going to expand that eventually because that's like the next. It's like the prequel, like before everything.
The original plans for Galaxy's Edge were that it was supposed to be sort of like Six Gun territory to an extent, where there was supposed to be stuff happening all around you, not just characters walking around.
Right.
There was supposed to be basically live shows happening around you, and then budget cuts happened.
Budget cuts.
It's a little too crowded for that anyway. Gosh, they cram
Well,
people in there.
they built handholds and stuff above.
Yeah, I've seen
so
that.
So that's like there's the platform where you see everyone. Like that could have been meant for like lightsaber fights.
Yeah, yeah.
In front of people.
Well, it is crowded in there. They got nothing on the Harry Potter lands. You
yeah.
can't move them there.
Yeah,
the Harry Potter lands.
And I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but I do love just walking through there because it looks so cool. Like you're in a
Yeah.
different world. I've never seen 1 second of a Harry Potter movie.
See, I wasn't into it until my kid got into it. Then I watched it. Then I kind of get into it. Then the lands, I'm like, oh, this is so much cooler
It
now.
is awesome.
Now that I know what it all means.
I don't understand any of it, but it is amazing.
Yeah, well, if you end up understanding it at some point, it's even better.
Really? Okay, cool. Maybe someday I'll jump into that.
over Easter weekend, I watched like the first 15 minutes of the first Harry Potter movie.
Whoa, you're getting into it.
Oh, that's right. You've never watched. That's right.
No,
What'd you-
I worked at Universal for a
What'd
while.
you think?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it when he's
I
with
don't-
that family that are mean to him.
Yeah, that's all
Oh,
I
the
saw.
Dursleys,
Like
yeah.
the last thing I saw is he was snatching a letter out of the air that they kept burning.
It's my favorite part of every movie. When they're not there in the final movies, I'm kind of sad.
Yeah.
The Dursleys.
Yeah, when are you going to get sorted? When are we going to put you in Pottermore?
Oh,
Figure
that's
out what
right. You don't
happened?
even have a house yet. You haven't been sorted yet.
I'm good.
I was looking at robes.
good.
I was looking
It's
at
probably-
robes the other day when I was there.
He's probably a Ravenclaw, if I had to guess.
He would be a Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
You're such a Hufflepuff.
I am a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, he's
Slytherin!
He's a Slytherin. See now,
Dude,
Brian
I'm with
Jr.
you.
is going to walk out.
I'm
He's
just
going to
watching.
leave. This thing got too nerdy for me.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
So anyhow, where I was going with your experience with Disney, since you do have those cool opportunities, I was wondering what your favorite might have been like over the years, because like Jimmy ended up, or you stayed at the Contemporary, which is a place I've always dreamed of staying.
I've never
at.
stayed there.
I stayed at the Contemporary, but I didn't get to stay in the main tower.
Oh, okay.
But it was still cool.
It was
Still
still,
pretty cool,
I mean, no, it was awesome. And like the way my room was set up, you walk out the room and you went right downstairs, and there was the pool.
Okay.
And then at night, the electric light parade, the water version one, went right by my room.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that part. My favorite is Fort Wilderness, the cabins. Those are like my favorite place to
Yes.
And we've talked about that, and
Yeah.
people say they're double wides that are converted into like
Single
these
wide.
single wides, but they're converted and they're super cool.
stay. They are super cool. I love it. We take a golf cart and just cruise around. You don't have to go to the parks. You can just have some fun there. It's pretty cool. I mean, that COVID hit that too. We were actually at the Fort Wilderness staying for the weekend when we got the word we had to leave on Sunday because they were shutting down.
Oh, wow.
When COVID started, we stayed
wow.
the last weekend. We were the last people out. They're
Wow.
like, y'all got to go. Like, okay, cool. We got to leave. That was cool. I think it's old school. My favorite, like, obviously, budget cuts change things, and the way the media works changes things. So they've kind of scaled it back with the big parties they used to do. But we did the grand opening of Soarin' at Epcot, and that was a blast, dude. It was like one of the best things that we've ever done. And they had Putty from Seinfeld. Because he was
Patrick Warburton.
Yes, he came.
Oh, yeah.
He came and spoke at the opening of it, and it was
Whoa.
they shut down the park, and it was just the media people there at night, and That was probably the most fun one, I think.
That's going to be
That was really
ridiculous
cool.
to have the run of the park just you and like media people.
And they did that for at Animal Kingdom one time too, and I'm not sure exactly what that one was for. It was a long time ago though. But it was the same thing. Like you just you jump on Everest and then jump off, and then jump back on, then jump off. You just get to go do over and over again. It's really cool.
That's
Did you get to
bananas.
go to when they reimagined Star Tours?
Yes, that was cool.
Yeah, because George Lucas was at that one.
Yep, that was cool.
And that was I only got to go to 2. I got to go when Full Magic opened.
Yep.
And because it also opened at the same time as, I want to say, Tower of Terror or something. It was something over there because they had Jim Belushi and his blues band there.
Oh, yeah.
And he threw up an elbow when I tried to get a selfie with him.
That's the only one I ever did was a reopening of Tower of Terror, and I don't remember it well.
Oh, really?
when they redid it, like
Yeah.
it was forever ago, they're like, it's now got 4 drops or something. That's the only time we ever did a broadcast at Disney.
he used to do.
It started raining that night, so they just went to the gift shop and grabbed umbrellas and were just handing them out to people, and they still had the price tags on
That's
them. We were
crazy.
like, do we keep this?
It's fine. No,
Yeah.
put it back on the shelf.
Yeah, right. Resell it. Yeah, and then all of the Halloween Horror Nights were fun. Anytime when we
Oh,
do the
yeah.
media nights
That-
for those are a lot of
Universal always would go like
Halloween Horror Nights was like
Over.
the event that I think every radio person wanted to be invited
fun.
to.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Above anything else.
That was a lot of fun, and they do the party beforehand. That's pretty. That's cool. Now I did Halloween Horror Nights. So before I was in actual radio.
Player, please.
Yeah, it's
player,
John.
player.
Yeah.
Johnny, Halloween
touch
Horror
me,
Nights.
don't touch me,
Him
don't
and
touch
Jenny
me.
Castillo, my 2
on.
favorite
No,
radio
player,
people
no,
to watch.
player.
No, no. Johnny was fantastic.
Can't touch me. You can't touch me. So before I was in radio proper, I worked for a company called the Broadcast Team, and they were actually doing streaming radio before streaming radio was a thing. There was no platform for it.
Yes.
So they started this. They had their technology that they got rich on was they were the ones who developed the ability to cold call you with a celebrity voice to try to get you to vote or to do whatever. So they developed that technology and they sold it to a ton of people. So they decided they wanted to start a online radio station.
Bad move in the early 2000s.
So they did this. This was in the late 90s.
Okay,
Yeah,
probably worse then.
Yeah, late 90s. And so they hired me and my friend Chris to be like the main talents. And they programmed this thing, and we went over there. And it wasn't like flashy. The studio was in an office building, but it was a lot of fun. And they were just ahead of their time. There was no place for it.
Yeah.
So they let it go for almost 2 years and paid us. And then finally they're like, hey, look, this has been fun for us. We all listen in our offices, but like we're not turning money on this, so we have to cut it. And I understood it sucked. But during that time, we got to broadcast from Universal for Halloween Horror Nights.
Wow.
And so we were actually the first internet radio station to do that.
Huh.
We were on the little plaque for a while. But so they took us to do the tour. Like, you get to go do like a media tour when you do a broadcast there. So they took us to do that. And so we're going around, and this is before I knew any of the guys. And so everyone's freaking out. And we were on the same media tour with NSYNC.
Oh. Oh.
So their tour was right next to our tour, and so I didn't know any of them at the time. I wasn't in actual radio; I was in internet radio.
Right.
And so it was really cool. They were young kids, and so we went and we watched Bill and Ted's. Well, that year Bill and Ted's was 100% based on NSYNC. Because they got 2 of the guys used to work there, and so all the jokes were Britney Spears, NSYNC jokes, and so we went and we did the tour, and we were going in to see Bill and Ted's, and they set us down, and then they shut down everything. So these kids could come in, and it was the guys from NSYNC, and they set the row right in front of us, and watched people play them in front of us. And I watched Justin's mom slide him some alcohol drinks because he wasn't old enough yet. And that was like one of the coolest experiences. And then years later, I'm actually friends with Chris and Joey now, and so years later, it's cool that I'm like, dude, I sat right behind you guys when you guys were at the height of your fame. we know, Brian. We know.
I'm glad you said some of their names now because I was like, wait, which one were in sync? I didn't know that was one Justin Timberlake was
Yeah,
in.
that was the Justin Timberlake.
Was that Nick Lachey?
No, he was in the other one. I get NSYNC
What
and
other one?
Backstreet
What
Boys
other?
confused.
What other one?
98 Degrees.
Yeah.
Good job.
Boom.
Good job.
Yeah, but I get NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys confused.
Well,
sometimes.
I can understand that. Like they're both Orlando, groups, and they both sing.
Now,
He's lying.
if you drop an Ashley Parker Angel in an O-Town.
Oh, now you're talking.
I don't know the first one. I heard of O-Town because, geez, who
well,
doesn't?
no,
hear-
that he was in.
He was
that.
in
Oh.
O-Town. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, how about the kid Asher Angel that was at Red Hot and Boom a couple years ago? Now he's on
He's Shazam.
Shazam. Yeah, he's Shazam.
He's a big deal now.
He was
He is
already
a big deal.
Shazam when he came here.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Yeah, because I talked to him about Shazam at the after party in the green room.
Oh, good for him. Good for him being Shazam.
I didn't get a picture with him because I hadn't seen Shazam yet. Now after I saw it, I was like, man, I should have gotten a picture with this kid.
Shazam was good. Back to theme parks and back to staying out at resorts. You said you haven't stayed at
I've not stayed at the
Contemporary.
and I've not stayed at the Polynesian. Those are the only two I haven't stayed at.
Polly's one I want to stay at too.
Yeah, those are the only two I haven't done.
Have you seen what the new rooms look like? They put out some like pictures of like the
Moana
reimagined,
rooms.
yeah, the Moana rooms. It's awesome.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
And
I
then-
want to go, but I mean, I've been obviously to all the resorts. I've just not stayed at those two.
Yeah, the Contemporary is getting Incredibles inspired
That's right, yeah.
rooms.
So, favorite resort you stayed at for Disney on Disney property?
I'm partial to the Fort Wilderness Cabins.
Okay, yeah, you did say that. I'm sorry.
I am partial to that, but I also like the boardwalk.
I
Beach and
haven't
Yacht
stayed
Club.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've stayed out there.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I love the boardwalk. We still go to one now that's closed, but Atlantic Danced, man. I love that club. It's like an 80s, 90s cruise ship club. And there's nobody ever there unless like on random nights it's packed, but sometimes there'll be like 8 people there,
Yeah.
and they are just dancing like literally nobody's watching. So I love the boardwalk. The boardwalk is great. There's
I think that's just a cool place to stay because they have everything all around
Yeah.
there. I mean, what a fantastic design.
They have a little
So
bar
many options, stuff to do.
called Abracadabra that's in there. That's pretty cool. It's all like old school magic themed.
That is still there, yes.
Yeah, I do love that.
Jelly rolls.
Yeah, jelly rolls is fun.
What kills me about jelly rolls is you can't actually get anything that's jelly or rolls there.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Your place is named Jelly Rolls.
Yeah,
Have some
you feel
donuts
like they
or
should
something.
have some jelly rolls of some sort.
Yeah, maybe there's a shot named Jelly Roll or something. I don't know. I've never looked.
I
There
don't
should
know.
be something. I should be able to get some
You
sort
should
of
be able to roll in there and get something with that name on it.
And there is a little jazz bar at one of the one of the French Quarter hotels. It might just be at the French Quarter.
It's Port Orleans,
Yeah.
French
Port
Quarter.
Orleans.
So
Yeah.
there's a little jazz bar in there that does live music that is so good, and they just started doing it maybe less than a year before a shutdown. And we used to just go over there, and like no one knows about it unless you're staying there. You don't really know about it. We found it
Yeah.
on accident.
Yeah.
And so we just started going back. And the band was always really good. You get beignets, and the drinks were
Oh
good.
god, the beignets broke my diet when we stayed out there.
Yeah.
Like I'd been doing like really good in a diet, and we stayed out at Port Orleans and done, killed it with the beignets.
Yeah, we always just try to find the stuff that's cool in the resorts that maybe you don't get to see a lot.
And there's so much you'll
Yeah.
never know. Like over at the Swan or Dolphin, they have karaoke.
Yeah.
My daughter, we would take her and she would do karaoke. I mean, she loved it because it's one of the few places kids can do karaoke in
Yeah,
town.
yeah.
When it was happening.
Right.
And you mentioned Fort Wilderness. We would go out there because we do Disney on the 4. So we'd go to Fort Wilderness just to go when she was littler. We'd go check out the horses, or
Yeah.
you could do pony rides if the kid's small enough. You could do a carriage ride, and you can watch the movies and do the marshmallows. It's all free, and it's
Yeah.
like you don't have to be staying there to
And
do it.
the electrical parade goes through the water at night over there, so you can go to the end where the water is. Well, they're building some new stuff out there now, so I'm not sure how much beach is left, but you could watch the electrical parade go through on the water, which was pretty cool. And we used to love the Hoop-de-Doo Review when you could go to. That's like
yeah.
one of the places where you do the all-you-can-eat, where you really get your money's worth, because they also include sangria and beer. And we just would
What? I
kill
didn't
the
know
fried
that.
chicken all day long. Yeah, it was Hoop-de-Doo Review was good. I mean, it's like anything else when you do like an experience dining. It's pricey, but you totally get your money's worth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ohana is another good place to get your money's worth.
is that the
It's the Polynesian, version
Polynesian-
of that, basically.
okay? So I've been to the luau there.
Not
Is
the
it different?
luau.
Okay.
The luau's different, but this is like upstairs, like where the it's upstairs in that back corner. Like if you
Behind
get
the
up
Timber
under-
where the
Lounge.
bar is.
Yeah,
It's behind that, yeah.
Yeah, it's right behind that, and it's all you can eat. And
Oh, okay.
But it's like Polynesian food, so it's like noodles, steak, chicken, shrimp.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
pot stickers.
We've never done that before.
Yeah, it's good.
And you get a to-go box.
Yes,
You get a to-go box too.
you can get
get
the
a to-go
dough
box.
box.
Shut up.
We did dinner there once, and at one point can you bring a whole wok of noodles out for our table?
Yeah, we were
Knowing
like,
that we were going to put them in a box in
well,
a little bit.
the whole night it was more noodles, more noodles.
Those
Like-
noodles were good.
Like Jeff was pissed that they wouldn't bring us more noodles. the noodles weren't coming fast enough.
Yeah, we needed more noodles. My wife has been begging me to take her to the Garden Grill for like ever.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's good.
Yeah,
it's really
gonna
good.
happen. It just for me, like I'm just like Mr. Cheapskate. I'm like $100 for a meal.
It's not $100. It's like
hold on now. I think it's $60 a head.
I thought it was like 40.
I think it's 60.
I've never been.
Do I need to look this up?
You can look it up. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
look it up.
sure- I'm
Let
pretty
us know.
sure it's 60 ahead.
It's in the land. It's at the revolving restaurant
okay.
above the land.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Do you know
Living
if they're
on the
running like the characters? Like it used to be like
Characters,
the
you can see
characters,
characters there because
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
I've been on the land and you can look up and see them.
and you see them going by.
Yeah, you see like Chip and Dale in their little farmer outfits.
Yeah,
And that-
she's
stuff
been
like
wanting to
that.
go since she was a kid. So eventually,
gotta
we're gonna-
take her.
Yeah, you have to do that. We did.
And that's all you can eat too.
We did. Is it? I think it's called Crystal Palace. In,
Oh, we did
love
that one.
Crystal
Yeah,
Palace.
for
Yeah.
breakfast. Oh my gosh, it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's really
They have
good.
like some breakfast souffle or something that's got like everything in it. I'm not sure what's in it, but it's delicious.
Yeah, when my kid was little, she was really into Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
So we did Crystal Palace. We got pictures of her hugging Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, it's
bringing
one
her-
of the one of the best places we've been as far as like breakfast goes. We love that.
Yeah, Crystal Palace is cool.
$35 to $60.
So it's 35
per
for
adult.
breakfast, but 60 for dinner.
Lunch and dinner are the same price.
Yeah, so lunch and dinner are 60.
How much is it?
Breakfast is 35.
35 to 60.
It's not bad.
Maybe I should take her for breakfast.
right?
Oh wait, no. Children are 35. Adults are 55.
Oh,
Okay, so
that's not bad.
That's not bad.
No, he was right. It's $100 dinner though.
Yeah.
You get some grilled beef,
$100
some
for
sliced
dinner.
turkey, some mashed potatoes.
I'm not paying that money for vegetables.
I mean,
They grow them themselves.
exactly.
That's true.
You could just reach down and grab them.
As you're going by on the boat ride?
Yeah, exactly.
Ask him, is it cheaper if I pick my own?
Yeah. Save
I get
little
a
bit of
discount?
money. Yeah. Can I get what kind of discount are we working?
Can I
over
pick the
here?
fish that I want?
Yeah. All right. Do you guys want to wrap this up so we can let Brian go to sleep because he probably has to be to work in about
Well,
3
and
hours?
You got to go celebrate your anniversary.
That's true. That's
Happy anniversary,
If only you
Mrs.
would have.
Dickerman.
Yeah, you could have just celebrated at Garden Grill.
I tried too
Dude.
late to book reservations. They don't have any.
You missed the boat.
I
You have
don't
no
know.
strings to pull.
I ain't got no strings.
Oh,
I don't
dude,
wanna-
the theme park podcast.
I didn't have any strings when I
Right.
worked in radio.
My wife had like a high level like executive client at Disney.
Yeah,
They couldn't pull strings.
Yeah, those reservations ain't no joke
Yeah,
for
I
dinner.
know. I've tried.
But then you go by and it's empty. It's like, wait a minute, why are there
It's
no
'cause of
reservations?
social distancing.
I know. I went into one restaurant, the hibachi place in Japan. I'm like, hey, can we get a table? They're like, no, we have no room. You're the only person in here.
yeah.
Nobody at
I was so mad. My wife and I did the same thing. We were at Epcot. We're like, okay, we need to eat somewhere. Let's just pop in here. There's nobody here.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we're full. You're not full.
I don't get that. I don't understand their system there.
When we went to for my wife's anniversary, or our anniversary, we went
Not
to
just ours.
Narcoossee's at
Yeah.
Grand Flirty. We got a reservation barely by the skin of our teeth. We went in there. It was like a slow Tuesday.
Yeah.
There was like one other couple in there.
That's weird. They don't want money sometimes.
Well, I can understand with the social distancing.
Well, sure, but if the restaurant's empty and Brian walks up and says, "Hey, can we get a table?" No, we're full. Well, I can see you're obviously not full.
Maybe they didn't want to like fire up a hibachi table for 2 people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know.
I will eat for 4 if we
Right.
have to. Just keep
Squeeze me in with those guys. I don't care.
Yeah, keep flinging more shrimp at me. I'll be eating it.
All right. Well, Brian, thank you. Let's one more time mention where you can get the rum. What's the website?
It's yohorum.com.
God, that's so easy. It's almost as easy as the theme park podcast.
I know.
You made it
It's
easy for yourself.
At Yo-Ho Spiced Rum on all the social medias. There's a list of locations you can get it. Hopefully Total Wine in Central Florida area in the next couple weeks. We're working on that. And then there's the list, Legacy, Regency, Easy, Pat's, all that stuff online. Teak starting next week. You could do every other Saturday Yacht Rock Brunch, which is $4 Yo-Ho drinks during the brunch, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anywhere that you could, a lot of these stores ship. So especially when Total Wine gets on board, you could actually have it shipped as well.
wow.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's like 33 states that allow alcohol shipping, so you can get it shipped state to state, even as long as your state
It's
allows.
so crazy what it used to be when it was you couldn't do that.
Yeah, well, it's not cheap. It's expensive to get it shipped now. I mean, but it's a felony if I ship it. Like, could you just ship it to me? Yeah, no, I can't do that. But yeah, a lot of the some of those places even deliver. In fact, Regency out in Winter Garden delivers to the parks. That's like one of their big thing. If you're staying
Oh,
at the
wow.
parks, they'll deliver to your hotel out there.
That's cool.
So that's pretty cool.
Very nice. All right, boys, you got anything else to add for Brian? You good?
I'm just thinking about staying at the Polynesian, getting like a big thing of Dole Whip, and just getting this Yo-Ho Rum.
Pour it on
Delivered
top.
right to your room.
Yep.
Right to your room. All right, well, for Scott Harris, for Jimmy D, for our special guest, Brian Grimes, I'm Dickerman. Until next time, we'll see you out at the parks.